Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's up, YouTube? Diggy546. If you want more sports content, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, and I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Now listen, I'm not gonna rub it in too much. Lil Will was out because he wanted to go to Magic City, get him some chicken wings, get some drive-by entertainment, I guess. I don't know how they're doing it in there, but if they're doing it regular, then that's kind of strange. But I digress. He wasn't there for his team. It wasn't because of injury, it was because of his own decision. So I'm gonna make fun of it. I mean, he went to go get some chicken wings, and that's what he got. He got some chicken wings and he's back in the bubble now, quarantining. But we didn't know if AD was gonna play. Last second, he suited up. Didn't have to have any protective gear, no nothing over his eyes. And he had a pretty good game. I wish he would have shot the ball better. I don't have any stats in front of me right now. I just watched it. I think he had like 32. He went 16 for 17 from the free throw line. So he had a pretty good game, but I wish just as far as regular field goal percentage, he would have shot the ball better. Missed a lot of jump shots, and a couple of times he got fouled on some drives, but that's just gonna happen, especially at that position of power forward, you're gonna get fouled. But LeBron, listen, if you're coming to this Lakers channel because you want a raw LeBron page, you're not gonna get it here. I'm not necessarily a big LeBron fan, I'm more of a Lakers fan. So I'm not one of these guys who's gonna blindly just prop up LeBron for that shot, but he closed out the game yesterday. I give him props. He finally, if you look at that screenshot, I'll put it up. If you look at this screenshot, you see that there's 5 people in the paint and LeBron is driving because that's his strength, and he finally took advantage of that. I'm gonna drive and put my head down, get that game-winning shot. He missed it and it bounced right back to him. He put it right back up. And it was funny to see Skip Bayless saying, what a lucky shot, especially when Kawhi Leonard last year hit the luckiest shot I've ever seen. Yesterday, he hit another lucky 3 that bounced all around. Like, I don't know what he's doing with those Jedi mind tricks, but talk about a lucky shot. That shot was not really lucky. It was a lucky bounce as far as it bouncing away from him putting it back. But at the same time, you gotta box him out. That doesn't happen if you box out after someone puts up the shot, you put your body on him, he's not gonna get the rebound. So I don't wanna hear it. All night, we got out to a double-digit lead. We blew the lead, they got out to a double-digit lead. And then at that point, we pretty much just put the foot on the gas, showed that we were the better team, which, if you're asking me who I think the better overall team is, it's definitely the Clippers. From top to bottom, once they get Trez Harrell back, once they get Lil Will back, they're the better team. From, their bench is amazing. With those two, their bench is just crazy. We lost Avery Bradley, but I'm dependent on our star power, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. If Kyle Kuzma can take a half of a step up, we can do that. We can beat him. Paul George had a good game. I don't really expect much from Paul George come playoff time. Paul George always comes out. I mean, every year Paul George is getting hot from 3. He looks like he's just that all-star, crazy talented player that can carry his team by himself. And then to come to the playoffs, he's jacking 3s all over the place. He's, missing everywhere. I think he had an air ball yesterday. But Paul George, regular season, he's gonna do that. I'm not too worried about the, playoff P. Playoff P, we see, doesn't get really much done. At the end of the day, you got 2 guys who, one said he wanted to be on the Lakers for 3 or 4 years. He had the chance, and he'd rather stay with Russell Westbrook, which we all know didn't make any sense because he didn't want to stay with Russell Westbrook for real. And then you look at number 2, Kawhi Leonard. You look at this guy. This dude, when we had the cap space, Kawhi Leonard played with the Lakers' time, went around and acted like he's mulling over a decision. Meanwhile, the dude is behind the scenes putting together a team with him and Paul George. He knows that they're trying to get Paul George, and he was never going to go to the Lakers, ever. But he's putting together a team behind our backs. The Lakers, he's lying to them, telling them, blah, 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 I'm on my way to a meeting, this and that. And then all of a sudden the news hits. He's going to the Clippers with Paul George. That's fine. But at least be transparent. That way we couldn't get JJ Redick. We couldn't get a lot of other free agents that could have helped the team be better. And I'm never going to forgive the dude for that. And I'm going to discredit everything he does. He hasn't looked as good as he's looked before this whole bubble thing. He's been shooting not as well. He had a couple of good shots yesterday. But pretty much that player yesterday for that team was Paul George. I mean, we saw Kawhi get the ball at the end of the game, and he gave it right up. He gave it up to Paul George because he knew he had the hot hand. He knew he was in better shape to make that shot. Because if he believed in himself, he would have kept that ball. And that's the same thing y'all blame LeBron for every time, is not keeping the ball and taking the shot. This time, LeBron kept the ball. He took the last shot because he's the best player on his team. Leonard decided not to take the shot, and he got the result that you're gonna get when you try to defer to people who aren't as good as you. Playoff P is a myth, and big game P is a myth, because it's a reason that this dude never was able to will his team to the championship. It's a reason, and it's not just because of LeBron. He consistently could not get it done. And I don't think somebody like that will ever win a title. But Clippers, you're a little brother. I'm a Giants fan, we got to deal with the Jets in our building. I'm a Lakers fan, we got to deal with the Clippers in our building. I can't wait until the Clippers move out. But it's what you get. Move out, get your own house, move out, and then come talk to me about trying to win a championship. This is just the beginning of this rivalry. I think it'll last maybe 2-3 more years. But this year, the Lakers are taking the chip. It's just that simple. Lakers are going to be able to take this chip because playoff P, he's not going to be able to support Kawhi. And if Kawhi can't, you guys realize that he's going to have to be able to play multiple good games in a row. And if playoff P can't step up when Kawhi gets tired, because he's going to get tired, his knees are going to start to hurt, his arthritis is going to start flaring up. Only a couple months until the Western Conference Finals. I know the Lakers are going to be there with the Clippers. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Diggy546. I'm out.